seeing it either.
Where I go?
Oh, does it say live interview up there? Right there?
Oh, that's
Oh,
from April 2nd. That's a pre-recorded one.
oh.
Oh, I see it. It's on there now. So if anybody is seeing our live, feel free to stay on. We're going to be interviewing Shelli from the Sweet Spot Urban Lounge crew. So definitely share, like, ask us some questions. I'm just going to share it to a few places. If you guys would like to share it, that's cool too. Let's see. I'll share it to my page. And okay, share it in a couple spots. We'll jump right in. Hi everyone, it's Melissa from Jacksonville Business Connections. We've been on a roll with doing live interviews with local businesses. It's something I've been doing since I've had more time on my hands with all the events getting canceled and just trying to brainstorm what we can do to give back to the community. And today, early evening right now at 5, we are going to be interviewing with Shelli with the Sweet Urban Spot Lounge crew. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. If you want to tell us a little bit about your business and what
Sure.
you do.
At the Sweet Spot in Urban, I'm Chef Shelli with Sweet Spot in Urban Lounge. We are a bakery and dessert lounge that employs people with different abilities. So here you can come and get muffins and Danish and pastries and coffee in the morning. You can sometimes find lunch. We do a few cafe lunch things, sandwiches, soup, salads. And then in the evening, when there's no COVID-19, we will then have some really nice plated desserts and be able to sit and listen to some music. I have some karaoke nights. We have game nights and things like that.
And where are you located?
We are located in Jacksonville. We're actually in the little community called Springfield.
Oh, I see it.
So
It's
we
on there.
are right there, right off of Main Street on 8th and Main at 157
Okay,
East 8th Street.
awesome. And then how long have you been in business?
Well, I've been in business for 6 years. We started November the 12th of 2013. I made that easy 11, 12, 13 so I could remember. And we started off doing pop-ups. So we were doing pop-ups at different farmers markets and festivals around town, getting our name out there. We did One Spark a couple of years. I think 3 years we did One Spark. And that helped to get our name out there and our product known. We put when we started off at the Beaver Street Farmers Market having a booth. So we've been
Okay.
all over Jacksonville doing a lot.
And where did the concept for you actually starting the business and saying we're going to do this, like where did that come from?
Well, I've always had a love of baking from watching my grandmother bake. And when I have two, we have 5 children. And when my son was a year old, I told my mother I was going back to school to do baking because that's what I really love to do. And I did that and became a pastry chef and worked in a restaurant. And then as life happens, it happens. And then I had a daughter. And I noticed that, she had some barriers and some different ways of doing things. And when I met my husband, married my husband, he had a master's degree in special education. And our love of children and people in general that have different abilities put us together and to create this concept because he also is a DJ. And we find that playing music, especially soothing music, kind of helps calm down people on autism spectrum. And they like routine and doing the same thing over and over and over again. And being a baker, there are times when you are doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So it's a great concept, a great mashup.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love how when I hear the stories about businesses and how the ideas came about, and it's usually from like a soulful place or helping, and it's awesome. So, in terms of the bakery part of it, like what are some of the favorite items that people love there?
Currently, our double chocolate zucchini bread, it seems to be a number one hit because no one can
Wow.
believe that there's zucchini in there because it tastes like chocolate cake. And then we started doing vegan banana muffins, which anytime I can make something that fits one category and another category is unaware, then it's a win-win in both instances because it's just extra banana and no egg. So I didn't have to add any ingredients that people are unaware of. We have our peanut butter cookies are gluten-free and there's no extra added. We just took out the flour. And I have to tell you, up until a couple of weeks ago, I did not like peanut butter cookies. I didn't even try my own peanut butter cookies until my husband put a peanut butter cookie in my mouth. And now I like peanut butter cookies. People would say, "You make really great peanut butter cookies," and I go, "I don't know. I have to take your word for it because I don't like peanut butter cookies. I hadn't even tried my own, so now I like peanut butter cookies. Well, I like my peanut butter cookies. So
Right. That's a great thing for people to know that you have like gluten-free options and vegan options. And once hopefully the world gets back to normal and events are back on, you'd be a good fit. We're going to be doing a Veg Fest in September, so hopefully things are good then. But you'd be awesome to come out there and showcase the vegan cup muffins or
banana muffins. Yeah,
cupcakes.
banana
Muffins,
muffins.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But to come and showcase that, I think that would be awesome. So if I calculated right, is it about 7 years you've been open?
6. It'll be 7 this year. Yes, in November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like within that 7 years, what do you think has been one of like the biggest struggles as a business owner?
Ooh, the biggest struggle is access to capital. I'd have to say is the biggest struggle. I've had several people say you have the product. It was just a matter of being able to somebody believing in us and the product enough to get us in a space. And I believe that the with everything that's going on now with the small businesses and everything, we don't have a loan out. So it sometimes I believe that businesses, you can have these really great ideas of grandeur, but if you start small and build up, you can get to where you want to be. We
Right.
we pay a monthly fee for the space that we're in. Everything we've gotten was either donated to us or we bought things that we saw on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and things like that. And so we didn't have to, take out a loan.
Right.
So, which is good and bad because we also don't have the funds to hire any more employees. So it is myself, my husband, and our daughter. And,
Mhm.
there's some days that, I go, I don't want to come in. I'm tired and I have to come in. So,
Right.
but it's ours. We're calling the shots and we make it what we want to. And every day the products change. It depends on what we want to make, and we say, hey, we haven't had this. Let's make this because we can.
Right. Absolutely. So a small the speed bumps that you come across being a small family business. Yeah. Definitely can relate to some of that as I like run just the business on my own and like you said just kind of doing what I can and starting from, no loans and all that kind of stuff. Starting small with a couple events, growing it to many events and just kind of repeat process and then repeat.
That's it. That's it. And
Yeah.
it's a lot. It makes it a lot easier to change. Like when all this happened and stuff, it's a lot easier to shift and go with the flow until everything straightens out. We don't. We were lucky in that we partnershiped with a lot of other businesses. So, like, they would have some things they couldn't use, and they would get rid of them in our direction, and then we were able to turn around and use them. Like, I've got a lot of flours and stuff that are helpful for gluten free, and now I can work with them and create a product that people will like. And on the same token, I could turn around and then teach a class so that if I've already used the product and I've come out with something that you've already enjoyed, now I can teach you how to work with it. I think,
Wow.
yeah, I've always liked to teach. I just didn't want to go to school for all that teaching.
Right.
So I'm more of I'm going to read this recipe book, and I'm going to, my husband has a master's degree, and it's like, some people just like school. Yeah.
What it's interesting is, so with, all the events being canceled, I think, that first week or two, I was like real low. I'm like, what am I going to do? Oh my gosh, end of the world type stuff. And then after that kind of lifts, I start getting ideas. I start becoming me again. I start doing more research in the virtual world, and okay, what can I do with my time to help others? So like these interviews, but like when you're talking about teaching and different things, doing my research, I've seen so many people now on the virtual aspect, and they're on here doing teaching or sharing recipes and letting people interact with them. And so there's a world out there for people who want virtual interaction, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. And doing it, I just did a class in baking bread this last Saturday, and I had my daughters on, and my granddaughters were on. And, it was somebody had mentioned, they said, well, there's plenty of YouTube videos. Why wouldn't I just watch a YouTube video? But then they were told, but then you won't have anyone to answer your questions when you have a question right then and
Mhm.
there. And I said, that's the
Exactly.
good thing. I said, and then the way I have it set up in the shop is that the oven is right behind me. So you will see me do it as you are doing it, and you'll see mine go in the oven, and not through the magic of television. When I pull it out, I'm pulling it out the same time you're pulling it out. So then we
Right.
can have those conversations. With the bread baking, we could talk about different things you could do to change the bread. We could talk about different kinds of flour. We could talk about a lot of things, and then I can answer them right then and there, and it's not something that you email, and who knows when I'm going to get back to the email, or
Mm.
but even if we pulled, I mean, because when I pulled my bread out, it was a little lopsided on one side, but it's okay. I told him, I said, you know what? There's artisanal is a word for everything that's lopsided and crooked in the world. So
Absolutely.
I can't make a round pizza crust. I will tell you right now. So if we do pizza, it's artisanal, it's wonky, but it's mine. I said so.
Right.
We have a good time with it, and so it's a great way to talk and to get to know your customers. And now next week is canning classes, which I was going to do for Florida anyway. And it's I said, there's some things. I've been here 8 years. There's some things I don't understand about hurricane season, like why everyone takes all the bread out of the store, you know? And I'm like, I don't understand, and why people aren't ready. And every year it's hurricane. See, I grew up in California. We don't have earthquake season. It's whenever it wants to come. So you're always prepared. You
Right.
always have something. But Florida, June 1st is hurricane season, and you wait till the day it's supposed to hit to go to the store and take all the bread. I don't
Yeah, it should
understand.
definitely be interesting for Florida. So we're just gonna move from social distancing right into hurricane season.
Right, right.
There's no break for us.
There is none. There is none. That's why I told people. I said, okay, so start canning your food now. Here at the shop, we will serve soups for lunches. That then, if I have any left, I'll can it, and then somebody could come buy it off the shelf. And I said,
Right.
it's just that simple. I said, if you make a big pot, then eat some and then can it, and you're good. I said,
Yeah.
and if the hurricane doesn't hit and you don't have lose power or anything, I said, just think how much easier life will be, because you could go do things and then come home and say, you will open up our own meal because it's already there.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
simple. So simple.
So in terms of, so you've been open quite a few years, and how long do you think it took, with starting the business before you were like, okay, I think we actually feel successful?
Well, when we started at the farmers market, I have to say that didn't go so well, so I went and got a real job. And so we didn't let that go very long before we decided this isn't working. And we've actually only been in the building that we're in now since the middle of September of last year, and only got our certificate of use to open January 31st. So we are relatively new as far as having a brick and mortar. But
Okay.
what got us was one day we were walking through Art Walk downtown Jacksonville, and somebody screamed out. First of all, they don't know our real names. They call us Sweet Spot. So that's what people know us by. And people scream out your name, and then they scream out best cookies ever.
Oh.
And when they have these things when it says so and so's following you, so and so's following you, and it used to creep me out because I used to go, why are they following me? What does that mean? And now I'm okay with the following because I understand what that means. But we get that more than once. People are screaming at us, best cookies ever. And
Wow.
that is such a good feeling that people enjoyed your product that much that they just call us Sweet Spot. It will go to a conference or a meeting, and someone will say something about you have to find your sweet spot, and we just go Sweet Spot. We've got it where other people who know us who are in the room will do the same thing. So, and it's just a giggle, and the person giving the presentation is totally clueless, and we have to let them know what happened. But that was, yeah, I have to say that's a pretty big deal. And then we've given talks at the Center for Independent Learning Living.
Mm-hmm.
It's Independent Living.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Center for Independent Living,
Yeah.
and parents will come up with their kids and talk about when you started talking, they just lit up because they want to cook, they want to bake, and the parents aren't sure, how to go about doing it, and they get so excited because I want to teach them. I want them to, have jobs, and that was our main thing. So, until all this COVID-19 happened, that was our goal. We have two employees, our daughter, and then we have another young man who's on the autism spectrum, and he just loves going to the pop-ups and the events with my husband, but he does not like when there's no customers. He's just like, where are the customers? And I love it. He calls me chef. Chef, there are no customers. Chef, there are no customers. And I said, this is when you rest, because then when the customers come, you're going to be busy and you're going to get tired. I said, so rest
Right.
now and then we'll take care of it. But, that to me, that's, if I get an employee who then wants to go and do their own thing, and I get them rolling on their own business, be it a bakery or whatever, that'll be when I've really succeeded.
That's awesome. So, what is the long-term dream or vision where you see the business going?
Wow, I would like to have several sweet spots. We've talked about we have our kids are spread. They're on the West Coast, so they've had interest in wanting to open a sweet spot where they live. And so, if we could get a couple of sweet spots going, that would actually be great, and to get more of our people with special abilities their own businesses. That's
Absolutely.
my goal. That is definitely my goal.
So, what do you think? Um, my brain just went blank. Your favorite thing about being a business owner?
Oh gosh, being able to call the shots and do what I want to do when I want to do it. I have to
Yeah.
say that's the best thing in the world. I'm not on anybody else's schedule. Um, there's even times that I'm like late to my own opening of my own shop, and my husband's over here talking about me, but and it's okay. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. I said, know, I mean, I've been on the manager end at businesses and things like that, and I know life happens to some people, and I know, you know, they're just those days, but, you can't, what makes happy employee, you got to treat people like they're people, and then they'll work, they'll be nice and they'll work, and you'll have happy customers and happy employees, and we have a good time here. I've got where we're going to play music. And if we feel like having a dance break, I mean, I dance break when people's cell phone ringtones go off. So it's just like, but man, life is too short for all of this, grumpy, grouchy, and you hear people, oh, it's Monday, I got to go to work. No, I want people to go, all right, it's Monday and we're going to work at the Sweet Spot. That's a good thing, but it's like, I have to say now, the downside is, I do eat a lot of cookies, which I have to stop. But, between that and bread, it's like, okay, then, we don't have any bread today because I was eating it and I decided I'm not going to bake it the next week.
That's funny. So if you had one piece of advice for someone that wants to start their own small business, what would that be?
Do it. Do it. Find some people that do what you do, pick their brains, find out everything you could find out, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's not always going to be pretty, but keep with it. Keep with it, and you're going to find there's those people out there that totally don't understand what you're trying to do. People couldn't
Definitely.
understand how music and baked goods went together. And I said, do you not go to Starbucks? Do you not go to, I came from the West Coast where it's more prevalent there, but all it takes is one idea, and
Yeah,
you're gonna find people that believe in you, and whatever you do, just don't quit. Do not quit.
that's great advice. I love that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to maybe share that I haven't asked?
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. You've asked a lot of really great
So you want to share
questions.
something?
I don't know. Come and come
share
visit
something?
when the COVID-19 is over.
Come visit me.
Yeah, come visit now. I tell people, I said, we've got plenty of space. So, you could be 10 feet away from us. It'll be okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But no, this is I like this. This is pretty good.
Any events or anything you're hosting or anything you want to share?
Um I have a canning class. All of my classes are going to run. Oh, our website is sweetspoturbanlounge.com, and you can sign up for our newsletter and find out when our classes are. We are going to be doing a canning class next Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be doing Facebook Lives on our Facebook page, the Sweet Spot and Urban Lounge, and on my personal page, Michelle McInnes, about the class, because canning class, it depends on what we're canning as to the equipment that you need. And check me out there. Right now, with everything else going on, we're pretty much shut down. We can't do a lot. So, but
Right.
definitely we are, check out my Facebook page and look at all my sweet stuff. And you can order cakes and things like that, and order things on the website.
All right, awesome. And then when we're done with the interview, I'll update the Facebook post with all the links that you give me so people can find an easy way to contacting you.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the interview. It was fun and it was great to find out things that I didn't know.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Thank you.